Not having the proper policies and procedures can prevent you from sponsorships, grants, partnerships, volunteers, and even donors. And the worst thing about not having your policies and procedures is you're not protecting yourself, your members, or your organization. So if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit or you're new to the nonprofit sector, this is one of the most important videos you could watch. What's going on, guys? My name is Timothy Wright, the founder and CEO of the Nonprofit Launcher. And in this video, we're going to discuss the 16 policies and procedures that you need to operate your nonprofit organization. Okay, so the first policy and procedure that you want to have for your nonprofit is your organizational bylaws. This is going to be one of the most crucial documents that you can have for your organization, because this is essentially going to state everything that your organization can and cannot do and will not do. So you want to ensure that your organization has bylaws. If you are a business owner, this is going to represent your operating agreement for an LLC or for an S corporation. So your organizational bylaws is one of the most important documents that you want to have saved. By the way, we recommend that you create a Google Drive so you can save all your policies and procedures in one place, not only for you, but also for your team members and your board members as well. The second policy that you want to have is your financial policies and procedures. This is going to be an outline, a policy of what you guys do with your finances, who's managing it, and how it's being managed. And then you have your board governance policy. Now, in this policy, you're going to have an opportunity to state all the responsibilities and the roles that you are expecting from your board. And also, this policy will state the level of authority you and your board members have as well. This is very important to have so no one doesn't overstep their boundaries. And even you, as the executive of your organization, you want to make sure that you're not overstepping your boundaries and you're allowing your board to not only govern your organization, but to also govern you. Then we have our complaint and grievances policies. Look, while you're operating your nonprofit, I don't want you to expect for everything just to be peachy cream. There will be some trial and tribulation along your journey, especially if you're brand new. I would encourage you to expect some complaints, expect some grievances as you're developing your organization, and this is how you prosper. We always tell our clients that constructive criticism is one of the best testimonials that you can get, because now you have the exact response of what someone experienced with your organization, and now you know it's easy for you to change. So with this complaints and grievances policy, this is very simply going to be a procedure on how someone makes a complaint or how someone makes a grievance. There's going to be a chain of command within inside your organization. So you want to ensure that everyone knows what they should be doing when it comes to a complaint and when it comes to grievances. And the best way to find that out is in the grievance and complaints policy. The next policy that you want to have, and something that is very, very, very important, is your event and programs policy. Look, whether you're hosting events live or on Zoom, whether you're hosting your programs live and on Zoom, you want to ensure that you have a policy in place stating exactly what your program and what your event is going to consist of, what the expectations of this program and this event, and who is not protected from what. All this will be stated in this policy. The next policy that we have is our restricted funds management policy. Look, when you're operating your nonprofit, every dollar that you receive isn't just going to be a flexible dollar that you can do whatever you want to do with. Some donors may give you restrictions on what they want their money to go towards. Some grants, some sponsorships, some partnerships that you acquire, they're going to give you specific money to go to a specific niche, a specific program, or a specific initiative, which is going to consider the income to be restricted. So again, you want to ensure that you have a policy in place for your restricted funds. The next policy that you definitely want to have is your volunteer policy. The reason why this is so important is because obviously you're going to be working with volunteers. And just like any other aspect of your organization, you want to ensure that you are able to set the expectation, manage the expectation, and be able to let anyone go or bring someone in if they're not abiding by the rules, or if you find someone who wants to abide by the rules. You setting this expectation can be found in this policy. So if someone is questioning, well, they thought they could do this, they thought they could do that, when you onboard your volunteers, you want to ensure that you give them the volunteer policy so they know what they should and shouldn't be doing, what their responsibilities are, what their roles are, and what to expect from you as an organization. Again, this is all a protection piece for your organization. And then we have our technology and data security policy. In this time that we're living in right now, majority of the things that are happening in our businesses are happening through technology as well as through data collection. You know, we run ads for our businesses and we collect data from our clientele, whether it be their phone number, their email, their location, whatever it may be, so we can consistently target and market to them whenever it's suitable. And for you as an organization, you're going to have that exact same aspect if you have any desire on growing. So because of that, you want to ensure that you have these technology and data privacy policies in place. Therefore, you and everyone inside your organization is on the same page. Media and communications policy. Operating your organization, you're probably going to be creating content, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. This policy and procedure is going just to give someone an outline of what they are and are not allowed to post when it comes to your organization, if they are members or if they are board members. So there may be certain things that you don't want promoted as an organization, and if someone is a board member, in the media and communication policy, it states that, hey, we don't get involved with politics, or we don't get involved with this or that. You want to make sure that's stated in your media and communication policy. Therefore, again, you're protecting yourself and setting the standard for your organization. And then we have our data and privacy policy. Very simply, you're going to be collecting data like I mentioned before. You just want to ensure that no one inside your organization, whether it be your members, whether it be your board members, whether it be your founders, whether it be the volunteers or donors, you want to make sure that all their information is protected and it is private. So what you want to do is, very simply, you want to have this privacy policy in place just to let anyone know who's associated with your organization that all of their data will be protected and it will not be sold, it will not be distributed out to anyone else. And then we have our code of ethics policy. Now in this policy, you're just going to be very simply stating your code of ethics, what you guys stand for, what your morals are, what your expectations are, what you will accept, what you will not accept, how someone can get terminated, how someone can be excluded from any event that you guys are having inside your organization. Again, the code of ethics policy, something that's very, very, very crucial. And then we have our whistleblower policy. Very simply, the whistleblower policy is going to be for all employees, all volunteers that suspect wrongdoing, that suspect unethical behavior or misconduct. This is an opportunity for you to report this to the chain of command inside your organization. So this is why you want to have that whistleblower policy in place, just so people know exactly what to do when it comes to reporting misbehavior, misconduct, and things of that nature. And then we have our accessibility and inclusion policy. And this is very simply going to state that your organization accepts anybody from all walks of life. Doesn't matter the skin color, doesn't matter the race, doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter the sex, doesn't matter any of those things. None of those things are going to be discriminatory actions that are going to cause someone not to be allowed to work inside your organization or be a part of your organization. And then we have our fundraising policy. The fundraising policy and procedure is going to be another form that outlines the principles and the processes and all the activities that you guys use for fundraising. This will be a policy that essentially serves as a roadmap, as an SOP, for example, where anyone that is coming inside your organization and they end up having a level of responsibility, they're able to go to the fundraising policy and understand the processes that you guys take as an organization. All these policies and procedures are very simply an opportunity for you to create a system where instead of me needing to talk to you about every aspect of the business, I have a policy or procedure that's in place that could read to you exactly what you want to do or you're supposed to do for this particular event. And then last but not least, we have our risk management policy. So within this policy, we're very simply outlining all the risk identification and the risk assessments that we take before we make a decision. So look, we understand that the beginning processes of you getting your nonprofit started can be a bit daunting. You may not have all the resources in place, which is why we have this channel. And if you click the description down below, you can grab our nonprofit survival kit where we've already created a template for all 16 of these policies and procedures. If you do your research, you know that working with a lawyer, it may cost you $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to get all your policies, all your paperwork drawn up by a professional. But since we've been working in a nonprofit space since 2016, we've been able to collect multiple different policies and procedures and come up with our own system of what we feel like is most suitable. And these are templates that are customizable and they're ready for you. You can grab that right now on our stand store and save yourself time, energy, and money. So look guys, if you got some value from this video, do me a favor and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Again, comment down below and let us know what you took from this video. Let us know what else you'd like to learn. All the information that we share comes from the problems that new nonprofits are having, this is the best way that we feel like we can actually solve your problems, is to know the exact problems that you're having. And if you want to know all the steps necessary to actually start your nonprofit organization, you can click this video right here and take a look at it. I know it'd be very, very helpful for you. Again, my name is Timothy Wright. We're signing off. We'll see you next time. Peace.